If you want to build this model for yourself, instructions are available on my Patreon, just $3.50 a month. I have some major nostalgia for the original Skyterra King model. For those of you unfamiliar, it was a 3-member combiner created by IX. I'll have the original video linked in the description below. It's over a decade old, and I've watched it countless times. It was a huge inspiration when I was little, and it's a big reason that I continue to make miniature 3-member combiners to this day. And because of that, it's always been a model that I've wanted to make my own version of. Now I finally have, and at last it's time to look at my version of the trio altogether. Here we have the Skyterra trio in their beast modes. Obviously scale is out of whack here. You have a T-Rex, a whale, and a pheasant all around the same size. Which is certainly not accurate, but it's kinda just an inherent part of the Skyterra King design. Kinda like how G1 Defensor is stuck with a giant motorcycle as part of the team. All around, I think the 3 models aesthetically fit together decently enough. The one major thing that sticks out to me is that I wasn't able to give Fairgame any eyes. Transforming them into bot mode, I think they fit together a little bit nicer here, though maybe that just comes down to scale no longer really mattering. I think they're a decently diverse trio of bots, and make for a pretty cohesive team. Honestly, I've always felt that amongst the original models, in robot mode, Kaizor was a bit of a stylistic outlier. Fairgame and Undex were aesthetically so similar with their blocky limbs and use of hinge plates that it made Kaizor kind of stick out. Not to mention the fact that he was the only team member lacking eyes in robot mode. For my version, I think I've made Fairgame and Undex a little bit more distinct from each other aesthetically. So while they may not be quite as cohesive as a duo, it makes Kaizor a bit less of a third wheel. All around, I think the 3 are fairly strong individual designs, but undeniably I put a lot of focus on the combine mode, and in the end I think that's where they really shine. So without further ado, it's time to combine. So we're going to start the transformation with Fairgame, as he was the first one I designed. And the first thing you're going to do is deal with the arms. So you're going to fold them back out like you're going into bird mode, but then rotate around the lower arm, rotate the fist, fold it open, spin it around, and there you have one leg. The other side is exactly the same. Fold out the arm, rotate around the forearm, turn the fist, open it up, and spin around what will be the combine mode toe. And there you have the legs. And then you're going to take this little bit here and fold it out, and that is his combiner port. And finally, the rest of Fairgame is going to turn into Skyterra King's wing pack. So you're going to want to open up the legs and rotate them just so you can get the clearance to spin around this little yellow part. And then you can adjust the other yellow part to mirror it. And this is supposed to be kind of like a thruster. And then you can adjust the legs to be kind of wings like that. And now Fairgame is in his lower body mode and ready to combine. Next up we have Kaizor, and the first thing you're going to do is just bring his head back and out of the way. Then you're going to come into his torso and unpeg his lower body from the dino head. Now you can open up his torso so that you can spin around the dino head and then close the torso back up around it. Spinning him around, you can now position his arms like this. So just compress it back and fold down his forearm. Then we're going to deal with his legs, starting with straightening out the feet. Just folding them up and straightening them, just like that. And then taking the legs themselves, folding them down 90 degrees, just like that. And then kind of opening them up like this, so they're kind of roughly at a 90-degree angle from each other. And then you can kind of curl the legs in just like that. And then last but not least, the moment of truth. This all folds forward and you have the head. Now moving on to Undex, you're going to want to pull off his weapon and then tear him in half. Now with half of Undex, you want to position it so that his head is facing forward, and then you can swing down his arm. That will give you the clearance to bring his leg up to be kind of a shoulder fin. Then you can swing the head back and fold it up just to get it out of the way. Now for the fun part, you're going to take this little elbow pad, rotate it back around, and then fold out a thumb, and then you can separate his fingers ever so slightly to create Skyterra King's hand. And the other side is just the same. Bring the arm down, bring the leg out, fold the head back, rotate this around to bring out the thumb, spread the fingers, and you have the other arm. Now it's time to put it all together, and we're going to start by actually taking Undex's missile launcher here and pegging it on to Kaiser's arms. And that will kind of help to solidify the torso a little bit. And now you'll see that there's a stud here on Kaiser and an anti-stud here on Fairgame, and those will just fit together. And once you have it, you're going to actually kind of come to the back, and you want to nestle Kaiser's head here into the back. Now for the arms, you have a technic hole here and a stud here. We'll just peg right on. And on the side, there's a stud and another technic hole, and it'll just peg right on. And here we have Skyterra King in combine mode, where I think he looks incredible. He's got such strong proportions and captures what I loved about the original model while updating it to fit in my style. He's sleek but powerful looking, with long, lean legs, powerful arms, and a muscular torso. The lower body is formed by Fairgame, with his arms forming the legs. Notably, I've decided to give him slight digitigrade knees. Rollout showed that as an option in the original video, so there is some precedent to it, but really it just kind of worked out that way with how Fairgame was designed. Probably the most important change is that Skyterra King actually has feet now, something that was missing on the original model. Fairgame's legs form a wing pack for Skyterra King, and this is why I decided to make Fairgame's legs gray. I found that when they were black, they blended in with the black arms, and the whole look was muddled. Between the wings, there's a small hollow stud representing a thruster, where I've added a small flame effect. Undex forms the arms, with his legs becoming some large fin-like shoulder pads. Then it's Undex's arms, which actually form the combine mode arms. The way the forearm reshapes simply into a large articulated hand is easily one of my favorite parts of the combination transformation. Undex's missile launcher ends up as a backpack, which is actually similar to the updated plumage version of Skyterra King. With this version, it helps to solidify the torso. Speaking of which, the torso is formed by Kaiser, with his T-Rex head ending up as a nice chest plate. One of the few shortcomings of the original model was that Skyterra King didn't have a face. And on those original builds, there really just was no way to add one. So for my take, it was really important to change that. which is why I modified Kaizor's transformation, allowing me to fit in a proper combined mode face. In the end, I think it looks great, and of course Kaizor's legs form the iconic Skyterra King horns. Bringing in my Skyterra Queen for size comparison, the King is noticeably shorter. While it may have been more appropriate for them to be the same height, ultimately I just wasn't prioritizing scale when building the King trio. Unfortunately, the connection methods between the components differ between the two trios, so you aren't able to mix and match pieces between the combiners. While that would have been a cool feature, in the end it just didn't make the cut. For articulation, the head is able to look left and right, as well as up and down. The shoulders are on universal joints, allowing them to go forward and backwards, as well as in and out. There's a 90-degree bend at the elbow, and each finger is individually articulated. He has universal hips, allowing for forward and backward movement, as well as in and out. He has a 90-degree bend at the knee, which is very tight. He has a swivel at the knee, and his toe can go up and down. The original Skyterra King is a creation I have tons of nostalgia for, so it was important to me that I honored it and captured what made the design so special. I think I've managed to do exactly that, while also bringing it in line with my own personal style. All three models are solid individually, but I undeniably prioritized the combined mode, and I think that definitely paid off. If you want to build him for yourself, instructions are available on my Patreon, just $3.50 a month. But that's all I have for now, so I'll see you next time.